want to ask you this question. The courts are also deciding the pricing policy for vaccination. Now, well, if you look at the entire situation of the vaccine policy dispassionately, we possibly haven't planned it as well as we should have. There has been pressure on the government. There has been a liberalization in the vaccination policy without supplies being present. For the last 6 months, we've heard that the center will be the focal point where vaccine distribution and administration will be done. Suddenly, in the middle of it, we decide to give it to the states, and now states are competing with each other with global tenders. The courts have stepped in and said that pricing of this is not right, pricing of that is not right. Basically, India has become a free-for-all. Mr.
I'm seriously concerned.
Who's at fault for this?
I'm seriously concerned with the court stepping in where the pricing of vaccine is concerned. Let me tell you why. The citizen is getting it free. Okay? Except a small percentage of vaccine which is being administered through hospital. In fact, and this is entirely my personal view, I wish we had the maturity to say 10% of the vaccine will be supplied to the rich people at a high price. And I would price that 10th vaccine in a way that the other 9 would be free. And there are enough people in India who have paid that much for the 10th vaccine to get it in the comfort of an air-conditioned home. So that's one way of pricing the vaccine. As far as the citizen is concerned, the citizen is getting the vaccine free. The union and the states are buying the vaccine. The union government is buying the vaccine. They have pre-negotiated a price for the states. If the states can get a better price, the states can buy a vaccine. The key point here is the government of India has not statutorily fixed the vaccine price, and for very good reason. If you want this is not going away. This COVID is not going away. It's going to be around for a couple of years. You will need booster shots. If you want to augment India's vaccine production capacity, you have to make it commercially attractive for international companies, for the Pfizers and the Modernas, to come and set shop in India. And they will not do it if you start muscling them and fixing statutory prices. Let's be very clear about this. The government, in my view, has taken a very sensible decision. You can call me a corporate lawyer, you can call me whatever. But let's be clear, hard economics is what governs this. UK, the government didn't fix prices. US, the government has not fixed prices. No government in the world has fixed prices. They are sitting across the table negotiating with vaccine manufacturers. Vaccine manufacturers are not, quote unquote, milking it. Yes, they are earning profit. They have made an investment. And they know they have to recover money, whatever they have to recover on this vaccine in the next 3 years. How much, whether they will be net plus, net minus, well, that's how the world is. But if the governments feel these are reasonable prices, these are affordable prices, they are working it. If states feel they can directly import vaccines and augment their capacity, why not? The government is allowing them to do it. Once that is done, I don't think this is really then anything remains for a court to interfere. Yesterday, Dr. Cliff Whitty, who's the scientific advisor to the British Prime Minister, he was in the evening briefing, and somebody asked him this question that since the Indian variant, that B1617 or whatever, is spreading more in the youngsters, should you not be vaccinating youngsters? And he said something very important. He says one vaccine given to a 19-year-old is one less vaccine given to a 60-year-old or a 50-year-old. So we have to prioritize whom we want to inoculate. And this can only be done on scientific evidence. Somebody has to take this call. Should we inoculate a particular age group so that the pressure of heavy disease on the hospital system is reduced? That's the benchmark. And that has to be India's benchmark. We've seen our hospitals are getting overrun. You have to leave it to the scientists to decide which priority is to be worked so that the pressure on the hospitals comes down. And that cannot be decided on Article 21. That has to be decided on scientific evidence, and the evaluation may change. You may today say, give it to a 50-year-old, 40 to 50 segment, or suddenly tomorrow you may say, no, that's wrong, give it to the 18 to 28 segment. The scientists also are learning about this disease as we go along. So this has to be purely driven by science. There should never be an attempt at coercive price fixation. The governments are in dialogue. Nobody is suggesting that this is being extortionately priced.